Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of September 2nd, 2015. So let's get into it right away. First up we have Detective Comics number 44. I'm not actually caught up with Detective Comics, so hopefully I'll be catching up soon. Since school started, I've been catching up with titles, so yeah, but looking forward to reading that. Next up, we have DC Comics Bombshells number 2. Didn't get a chance to read number 1, but it's Bombshells, and if you watched my videos last month, you know I like Bombshells, especially if you notice what's in the corner over here. Next up, we have Imperium number 8. A little bit behind on Imperium, but enjoying it nonetheless. Looks like Divinity is in this one. The mini-series Divinity was okay. I enjoyed it. There's supposed to be a second one coming out at some point, so I'll probably pick that one up as well. Next up, we have Lazarus, number 19. Again, behind on Lazarus, so curious to see what this cover's all about. Hopefully I'll see soon. Next up, we have Omega Men number 4. I actually got caught up with Omega Men. Really didn't care for the preview or the first issue. It was okay. Second issue got better. Third issue got better. So looking forward to seeing number 4 just keep on improving. But Omega Men number 4. Next up, we have a new one from Jeff Lemire. I think it's Plutona number 1. Really small week for me purchase-wise, so I decided to go ahead and grab this one. And check it out. So yeah, I like Jeff Lemire. Looks like a kind of non-superhero thing, but I could be wrong. We'll see. And then last up, or no, not last up, we still got one after. Next up is Brian K. Vaughan's We Stand on Guard number 3. I read number 1, liked it. I think I read number 2. Not sure. I think I did. Well, I'll get caught up at some point. Next up, we have Exo Manowar number 40. This is the Exodus part. I'm behind on Exo Manowar by a number of issues, so hopefully I'll be getting to that soonish. I think my actual, there's a short box that I have that's almost halfway full of books that I need to read. So I've been slowly chipping away at that every day. I try to read at least 10 comics a day while I'm at work. So some days I hit it, some days I don't. It's Green Lantern 75th variant month this month. There was like 3 Green Lantern variants. I didn't care for any of them, but be sure to look for those. I think Green Arrow had it, Green Lantern had it, and Detective Comics and Batman Beyond had it, and so forth. Sorry. I didn't care for any of them, so I didn't pick them up. I did pick up the Detective Comics number 44 blank variant cover. Don't know why, but I have a few blank variants. We'll see if I ever have somebody draw on them, so we'll see. Next up is the read list, titles that I read to stay current, and this stack is always bigger than what I take home, but I finished this stack anyway. First up is Age of Apocalypse number 3. First 2 were okay, so I'm looking forward to reading issue 3. Secret Wars stuff has been delayed, and Secret Wars is now 9 issues, not 8. So there's a lot of BS going on with how Marvel's trying to spin all of this, because the all-new, all-different Marvel titles are still coming out in October. Some of them are coming out in October, 7 November, December, January, February. So you'll still get Secret Wars and the new Marvel Universe at the same time. Not necessarily the best way to do something like this. And from kind of what we felt at the shop and interactions I've had with people, they're kind of sick and tired of the relaunch number 1 bullshit. So Marvel, yeah, sucks. Next up, we have Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies number 4. Like this series pretty good, so I'm curious to see how this one pans out. Next up, we have Batmite number 4. Everyone should be reading this because it got Booster Gold in it. What else can I say? Batmite's fun. It's just a fun book. If you like something kind of fun, sort of, off the wall, animated type stuff, Batmite's for you. Next up, we have Batman Beyond number 4. First 3 issues of this were really good, so I'm curious to see where 4 takes us. Then next up, we have Daredevil number 18, Man Without Fear. Apparently, we're reading his memoir. No, we'll see. Next up is a book that I can't even remember the last time it came out. But it was The Dying and the Dead, number 3 by Jonathan Hickman. I've really enjoyed the first 2 issues, so I'm curious to see where the rest of this story takes us. But overall, I've liked it. Next up, we have Future Imperfect number 5. That's right, number 5. A Secret Wars title actually got to 5 way before any of the other titles did. But liking it so far, so we'll see if Future Hulk beats or Maestro beats up Doom or whatever. We'll see. We have Green Arrow number 44. I've liked the Green Arrow stuff since the creative team changed. It's still good. It's not as solid as Jeff Lemire stuff, but still readable, still enjoyable. So, highly recommend that one. Then we have Green Lantern number 44, and that is not a misprint. It is Hal Jordan on the cover, not Gambit. Toby saw this and was like, when did Gambit join Green Lantern? And we had to explain to him that Hal Jordan somehow grew his hair out really, really fast. Next up we have Groot, number 4. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's okay. It's Groot. Good stuff. Next up is House of M, number 2. This was a little late to the Secret Wars release, but I enjoyed the first issue, so I'm curious to see where House of M takes us in the rest of this Secret Wars Marvel Universe. Next up is a really solid title, Midnighter number 4. If you haven't checked out Midnighter yet, I do recommend it. It is really, really good. Stephen Orlando doing a great job with the writing. Midnighter's just a cool character. It's good to see him get a good creative team on that book. Next up we have Silver Surfer number 14, The Last Days of the Silver Surfer. Apparently, just everything blacks out to white apparently at the end of these books, so I'm looking forward to reading something and then it going white. Next up we have Spider Island number 3. Spider Island's not bad. It's interesting. Curious to see how Spider Island, if it kept going, what would have happened, so on and so forth. So interesting enough there. Next up we have a book that's been a little delayed, Squadron Sinister number 3. First two were okay, so I'm curious to see where this one takes us. Then next up we have Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde, number 3. Yeah, number 3. Peter Quill's an anomaly. Kitty Pryde's not his Kitty Pryde, but he still loves her. So the date book or couples book still lives on. Then last up we have Thor's number 3. Thor's is really, really good. It's kind of a police drama-ish thing. So I'm looking forward to reading issue number 3 on that. There was only like 2 titles I didn't get a chance to pick up. It was 18 Days, Grant Morrison's 18 Days number 3. I've read the first 2. They're interesting, so I'm curious to see where it goes with number 3. We only, I think, got 1 or 2 shelf copies, so I didn't really feel like taking it. So hopefully we have it there Monday so I can check it out and hopefully keep reading that. And then the other one was Toil and Trouble number 1 from Archaea Studios. It's a number 1. I think it's a 1 of 6. Art looked interesting enough. Toil and Trouble, Witches. Curious to see where that goes. There was a couple trades that came out today. Marvel released their Alias Jessica Jones trade. So if you want to check out some stuff about Jessica Jones before the Netflix show comes out. The other thing that came out was Suicide Squad Trial by Fire Volume 1. If you are aware of trade paperbacks in the DC Universe, you'll know that this already came out in 2011. They were going to release Volume 2, solicited it, never released it, and put this one out of print. But apparently because the Suicide Squad movie is coming out next year, they feel they can finally print this stuff, and they've released the first one. And the second one's solicited, and we're hopefully going to get it soon. I don't know, not crossing my fingers. I got all of the Suicide Squad issues in to do a bind, so I think I'm just going to go that route. The paper is like a glossier paper. They did a little bit on the coloring in the book. It's $19.99, I think, for like 8 or 10 issues. So I mean, it's up to you, but the paper quality itself is not the best. But go down to your shop, check out the Suicide Squad Volume 1. That's the Joss Ostrander stuff. I've read it. It's good. I enjoy it. I want to keep reading it. And then Wonder Woman Volume 7 hardcover came out, and that's the one that starts the Finches, Mr. and Miss Finch doing Wonder Woman. I was actually tempted to pick it up because I did enjoy that I've enjoyed that so far, but I'm not sure I didn't grab it today. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for everything. I know I have not gotten to doing an open video for Bleez. This weekend it was a little chaotic and busy. I had a friend's 10-year wedding vow renewal party thing to go to on Saturday, and I was busy all day with that. And then Sunday I had to do stuff, move some stuff with my truck and for family and all this stuff. So yeah, I was a little too busy to get to that. So hopefully you can yell at me in the comments for not doing it, but hopefully I'll get to it this week at some point. Yeah, long week ahead. Yeah, other than that, not much else. If you listen to the Comic Conspiracy episode 225 that we recorded tonight, that should be up by the time you watch this. We talk a little bit of news, especially the Marvel Secret Wars delay bullshit, and answer some Twitter questions. So it was just a light podcast, but pretty fun. So I highly recommend you checking that out. That's the Comic Conspiracy Podcast. You can find it on iTunes, or you can go to www.geekbox.net and find a way to download it there that you like. You can help support myself and everyone on the Comic Conspiracy Podcast through Patreon. Go to patreon.com and look for the Comic Conspiracy. We're there for as little as $1. You help support us. We thank everyone who supports us. Yeah. I'm on Twitter. My handle's @BrockSager. You can go to conspiratorbrock.com. I don't get too much posted there. I'm trying to get back into the habit of getting things posted there and updating my graphic novel reading list and all that stuff. And some of the reading lists that I've had posted up there, but I haven't had a chance to. Yeah. So sorry it's a little short this week, but sometimes it's good to be a short thing. I got a stack of books to read through, as you could tell from what we just went through, and I have a shit ton more to do. So I am going to call it a night, and I'll see you next week.